Hello, fans of DX Engineering on Facebook and on YouTube. It's Thursday afternoon here in the Eastern Time Zone of the USA. It's time for the DX Engineering Manufacturer Showcase. And this is a show where we bring one of the manufacturers that we sell through DX Engineering on. You get to ask them questions. They get to show you what they're up to, maybe some of the projects that they're working on. And today, I'm very happy to have Paul with Eclipse. And Paul, tell us a little bit about the company Eclipse and what you guys have.
Sure, and it's nice to meet you, Tim. Well, we sell a pretty large array of products. We cover a lot of industries. So I know you guys are really amateur radio and ham radio. I don't particularly have a lot of expertise in that field. I've been watching a lot of videos leading up to this, try to familiarize myself with what you guys work with and what type of products you like. So I want to maybe talk a little bit about some of those that we offer, some that I already know you carry, and that we can probably go in a little bit further detail with.
Yeah, Paul, do you see my screen?
Yes, I see it. Okay.
So these are some of the Eclipse tools that we have at DX Engineering.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So I've been looking over some of these and also just trying to familiarize myself with a lot of the products that an amateur radio user might, have use for, and maybe y'all don't even stock at the moment, but something that I could probably find useful for you guys. So I noticed you have a lot of like the multimeters and the soldering assembly type of equipment and assembly, and a lot of the hand tools as well. So that's kind of what I've been looking at. And I want to see if I can do a screen share too, to kind of like show you some of the products. I don't have the physical product with me. I'm working remotely right now. So I figured the best way to show you this was I've got some materials kind of ready that I can bring up on my screen and hopefully share it with some of your users.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready. Okay.
While you're doing that, Michael W3MLJ, if you would check your Yahoo email, that would be great. I sent you an email a little bit ago, and we have Kilo Echo 8 November Golf Victor on. Glenn, good to see you again. W9 Kilo Kilo and N8 Tango Uniform Whiskey and Kilo Lima 4 Sugar X-Ray. And from Oz in Australia, Victor Kilo 4 Fox Alpha Bravo Queen. And Golf Mike 0 Victor Radio Papa from Scotland. Okay, Paul, you ready to share?
Yeah, sure. So here's where I was going to kind of start with. We have a lot of test instruments. You already have a pretty good assortment of our multimeters on the website. I wanted to just kind of go over those. I know, it's something that you guys might use a lot of and your viewers might use. So we have the compact multimeters. We have auto ranging.
So LCR. Are you sharing, Paul?
Sorry?
Are you sharing now?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
No. So when you click share, you click that, and then you have to highlight it. Yeah, highlight, click on the deal, and then it'll start. There we go.
Okay. Technical difficulties getting through this. Okay. All right. So yeah, going back to just, we've got our multimeters on here. Pretty good assortment. We have compact meters, digital multimeters, auto ranging, true RMS. Like I said, you have quite a few of these already. But I just thought we'd show a little bit more of our assortment that we do carry. So we'll go through these. One I wanted to point out that I noticed it didn't look like you have currently on the site would be like an analog multimeter. We have the digital clamp meters too, which are nice. If you don't want to actually have to make contact with the live circuit, you can put it through the clamps and you can get reading without making contact. It can be a little safer in certain environments. And then we have our the analog meters as well. This is one I didn't really see that you currently have on the website. So another good kind of meter that you could add to the collection. They can sometimes be a little faster reading, a little bit less to go wrong with the screen in certain situations. So they're pretty nice. Along with the meters, you also carry a lot of, kind of expensive equipment with the radios and amplifiers I've seen too. And one thing where you might, find use is a good storage case for something like that. So we have tool cases, but not just tool cases, equipment cases. So this is an example of one of our heavy duty waterproof cases. This uses a pluck and style foam. This has got a piece of equipment already in it in the demo here, but when you were to open this up, you're going to just see a flat layer of foam on the top. And you pick, and I actually have something queued up ready for this too. Let me go right over here. This is just a little demo we have showing like the pluck and style foam. So you have your equipment, you can modify it, get it to the shape you need. It won't move around. This case is entirely waterproof too. So I know you sell a lot of expensive equipment. I think something like this could be good, for your users who had that type of thing, if they're going to be keep it in the vehicle, or even if like a camping trip or somewhere remote where, there's a possibility of moisture or rain. It's, a very useful case for protecting that kind of expensive equipment. Let me get back over here. In addition to that, a lot of hand tools as well. I've noticed you do have one of our precision style screwdriver sets, this one right here that you guys carry. It's a very nice set. If you do have anybody who's looking to just maybe get individuals, this is one of my favorite sets right here, the SD-081 series. So you can get all different types. These are all the small precision screwdrivers, swivel caps. We have a lot of security type too. I don't know how much of the type of equipment, amateur radio uses security screws, but you've got Torx, security Torx, Pentalobe, star tip, everything you would need to get into a lot of kind of security type situations. Whoa, sorry about that.
So, Paul, there's a question in the chat. It says, This is from November Alpha 5 Charlie. Steve, he asks, any high voltage probes?
We do have some high voltage equipment. We have high voltage meter and a probe, I believe so.
We may not carry it.
You definitely. I don't think you carry it from what I've seen and looked on there. We do have a good assortment of electrical equipment, and we have a catalog specifically for that. I don't have a lot of it queued up, so it's going to be kind of hard to show right now.
Right.
We can definitely get you that information and those people, and you can always have access to these too. So if you do have a customer that wanted to order some of this, they would be able to. We could ship it to your store, and then they could pick it up.
Right. This is the kind of line. And we're talking today with Paul from Eclipse, and this is the kind of line that we're going to continue to get more items from Eclipse and put them on the website. And I agree, Steve. We ought to have high voltage probes. I know I would like to buy one. The one I'm using is probably 50 years old, so it's time to get with the program there. I did want to give a shout out to Whiskey 9 Uniform Sierra, who said he got a Hustler 4 BTV and from DX Engineering, and he'll be on the air with it tomorrow. So that's great. And Glenn has a question here, Paul.
Yes.
Says that storage box may be great for parks on the air, emergency communications, QRP, field day, or other events when for carrying gear around. So those are really nice cases. And John says Eclipse makes great professional tools. So that's a good comment too.
Thank you, John.
Let's talk about some of the. We have a lot of the soldering tools that you guys make. Why don't you talk about a little bit about those, Paul?
Yeah, we have so we have a good selection of soldering irons and the full soldering stations as well. I've noticed you have a couple of those on the website. One thing I didn't see on there, though, is we do have a really large selection of soldering tips that are compatible for those stations, too. So, they typically will come with a pencil style tip, but most of our stations all use the same type of tip. We have about 14 total. So if they need anything from a little fine point to, pencil style to even larger chisel tips, we have a large selection of those. Let me see if I can show that real quick too. Bear with me.
Well, I've got the share tied up at the moment. Do you see my screen? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing your screen.
Okay.
Yep.
So
yeah, this station right here, this is one we have about 14 different tips for. So what you see in there is the pencil style tip that comes with the station. We have a few different units that are similar to this. This is one with the kind of like the knob dial. We have ones that have more of like analog buttons as well, or analog knob. That's a nice 3D spin y'all have on it too. Need to get that for our site actually. So, and we carry all the replacement parts for that too. We have replacement soldering irons. We also, another thing I didn't see, you carry a lot of our desoldering pumps. We do have a desoldering station as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's not, if you have our most recent catalog, it's actually not in there. It's one of our newer products, the SS331. So that's been a very popular product for us. For anyone who's got to do quite a bit of desoldering, you don't have to use like a separate iron and a desoldering pump. The gun on the desoldering station will melt the solder itself, and then it's got a vacuum kind of suction and a chamber inside the gun itself where it'll store the debris, and it's easy to clean it out.
Yeah, this blue tool is one of my favorite tools that you guys
make.
Big
blue solder sucker, yep.
Very, very, very handy. And you can't beat the price, $6. Jeez.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the big boy right there. So the other ones are a little bit more of the compact. The green one's actually kind of nice too because it's transparent, so you can see how much like buildup there is inside. It can make it a little easier to clean out.
So let's talk a little bit about this anemometer.
Okay.
This looks really handy.
To be honest, I don't have a lot of firsthand experience with the anemometer. We carried a line of environmental testers. So this is one. We got the luminosity meter, and like their laser distance measures and things too. So this is one of those series. But this will let you. It's for measuring air velocity and airflow.
Right.
I've kind of tested it a little bit, but I don't personally work or have a field where I'm using that particular tool very often. So I can't really speak to great detail on the specs of that, unfortunately.
Here's another handy device that I really like, your heat gun.
Yeah, the heat guns are handy. I sometimes mess around with doing some like mobile phone repair. And, this is very useful if you need to open up an electronic case that's got some adhesive or something holding it in, or even if you just have like heat shrink tubing or something like that, if you're doing your crimping and assembly that's got heat shrink around it. Another thing I want to talk about is not of ours, but you do have a few of your die sets on the website, your crimper and die combos. I saw about like 5 different dies. Y'all might have more, but that's what I saw. But I will say they actually use the same die profile as our crimp tools and crimp frames. So if somebody did have, I know your dies mostly cover for the applications of the terminals and things that you guys sell. But if someone, has that frame and just came in and like wanted a die set for, just a different type of application or different field, we have those as well too. We've got a very large selection of die sets that will fit that the same crimp frame profile.
Here's another one of my favorite products that you guys have, the Maglite.
Yeah, and we've pretty much switched to all LED now, so you don't have to worry about replacing bulbs or anything. They last a very long time, bright, low energy consumption. We feature several different ones. That's a nice one there with kind of smaller profile head. We have some wide view magnifiers too, if you want like a nice big clear viewing area. And that the wide view one actually has lights on either side of the display too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've got a pretty good selection of those. We also have some just desktop style ones too. That's a workbench style. So if you would actually clamp it to your desk and kind of swing the arm around. But if you have more of a smaller type situation, or you don't want it to take as much space, we have like just the type you can set on top of your desk as well.
Well, we're on here today with Paul from Eclipse, and let's see if we have any more questions here. Let's see. John KF6I, our amplifier guru, is on, and but no other questions. But well, it's just interesting. I guess as we continue to build this line and offer more of the Eclipse products on our website, Paul, we'll definitely have to have you come back again to talk about some of the ads. John says the adjustable strippers with springs are fantastic for stripping small wire, removing enamel from mag wire, or stripping cladding off optical fiber. Yep. And so that's
we have quite a few of the automatic strippers, and he might be talking. We have one that's specifically for fiber applications. But yeah, several of the automatic strippers, which is a very useful tool. I have a couple pair of those myself just for personal use. I have some of the other ones too with the manually sized holes, but for most applications, I can just grab the automatic wire stripper and not have to worry about it, and just be done.
So Glenn asks, are your soldering irons adjustable?
Adjustable how? Probably, I mean, by
probably
heat
in the temperature range.
Yes,
just the temperature.
Yes, they're all good. Well, the stations are all going to be adjustable. If you get just the individual irons, they're going to be, you just plug them in and they'll have like turn on, and it kind of depends what wattage you buy. But if you get the stations, they're all going to be adjustable. Some of them are like a digital display and you adjust it through that. Some of them have like an analog knob, but you can adjust them on the fly, and they're typically very fast on the adjustment time too. And the displays, whether it's the analog or digital display, will show you live what the current temperature is. So as you adjust it, you'll see the temperature drop or rise accordingly.
Okay. And Dave says, I'm not familiar with the Eclipse tools. I'll have to give them a try. And yeah, just go to the DX Engineering website and type in Eclipse, and that'll bring up all the products that we're currently selling. And like I said, we will continue to add Eclipse products. Steve asked, do you sell a clamp-on ground conductivity meter?
Well, we have several clamp-on meters.
Yeah, a ground conductivity meter is what it does is it attempts to take a look at the ground and see what kind of conductivity, or actually insulation, is between the probes, and also the capability of a ground system, how well it is connected to the earth ground. One company that I do, and this can be very expensive equipment, is Biddle, Biddle, makes a whole line of those we used to use in the cellular business.
Yeah, I'm going to say we don't, just off of here in the description. Yeah. Most of what our clamp meter is going to be voltage style meters that'll do some other testing. They'll act as a basically digital multimeter, in which they come with probes too, so you can use them just as a digital multimeter. But then they also come with the clamp more for kind of non-contact voltage testing and reading the actual voltage measurements.
Right. Do want to give a shout out to our good friend Scotty, WK3N, who's hopefully been having some fun fishing and working stuff on 6 meters. Well, Paul, thanks very much for coming on today with us and talking about the fine line of products from Eclipse. And as I said, as we continue to add more and more products from Eclipse, we'll have you back on. And we wish you all the best down there, Paul.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Have a good one.
And 73 from DX Engineering. We'll see you tomorrow for the weekend special. Don't miss it. 20 Zulu. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.